Hello and welcome. In this video, I'm going to show you on how to change the data source of a pivot table. So here I have four worksheets, so which have different data. So I want to create an Excel table for each of these that is data in different worksheet. So let me start with sheet 1 where we have the computer devices. So to do that, you press on Ctrl T and then a dialog box appear. So then our table has headers, so that is date, item, quantity, rate and total. So then I click OK. So the Excel table is created. So if we go to the table design, now I can remove the filter button. Then we go to sheet 2, the next sheet where we have electronics. So we create also an Excel table. So Ctrl T, then click OK. So then again I can remove the data filter and I can change the table style. So maybe I can use black here. Then we go to the third one, electrical devices. So Ctrl T. So let me undo that. So you click inside the table, then Ctrl T, then click OK. So that gives you the Excel table. Then we use a new table style. So for example, we can select this one. And then we go to the fourth one where we have plumbing. So click inside the data, then Ctrl T, then click OK. So then again we can select a new style. So maybe we take the green one. And we now have 4 tables. So the next thing I want to do is to name these tables. So the first one, which is called table 1, so let me call it comp devices. Then press enter. Then go to the second sheet. So we have table 2 here. So we change that one to electronics. Then press enter. Then the third one. So this one is table number 4. We change it to electrical. So then press enter. So this one, we call it plumbing. Then press enter. So now we have our table called comp devices, electronics. So as shown here, then electrical. So that is electrical. Then we have plumbing. So then I want us now to create a pivot table in a new worksheet. So to create a pivot table, so you click on insert, then you select from table range. So click here, that is pivot table from table range. Then new worksheet. So then you click OK. So a new worksheet is created and we have the field pivot table fields. So to create the pivot table. So in the pivot table fields, you click on item. So once you click on item, it will automatically come here, or you can drag. For example, let us drag date here. So it automatically comes here, and since it is date, so it has created other fields like quarters and years. So let me remove this one, and I remove this one. So then if we click the quantity, since it has values, it will come automatically where we have values. So click quantity, then click rate, click total, and our pivot table is created. So this is the pivot table, so showing the different values. So let me show you also how to move the table. I want to move it to A1. So to do that, you click inside the pivot table, then pivot table, analyze, then move table. So then here we now have A1, then click OK. So it will move to A1 as shown there. So the next thing I want to show you is how now to change the data source. So in this cell H1, so let us rename that cell and we call it all tables. So that is as a name range. So in the name box, so type all tables, then press enter. So then in the same cell we create a data validation. So you press Alt DL, so then tab L tab, then now type the names of the tables. So that is comp devices, comma electronics, comma electrical. So these are the names of the tables. Then finally we have plumbing, then click OK. So a data validation is created, so with the names of all those tables. So then I want us now to record a macro. That is this macro will create a macro code for changing the data source. So to do that, we click on record macro. So here there's a button, or go to developer tab, then click record macro. So then we click OK. So whatever we do now will be recorded in the Visual Basic editor. So we go back to that is pivot table, analyze, then we click on change data source. So change data source. So for example here now we change and we type electronics. So now the table will change. Now it is showing electronics. Then now we can stop our macro code. So you click on developer tab, then click on stop recording. So then press Alt F11 to see the macro code. So this is the created macro code, and now we are going to change the name here. We call it, so we shall call it range in brackets double quotes all tables. So that was our name range, so we call that all tables, then close bracket. Then now we can remove this. So then we rename our macro code, so that is change data source. So that is change data source. So on this one, I can just delete this one, and we have 2 lines there. So let us test this code, and we see whether it will work. So by changing, for example, here we put now plumbing, so we shall see plumbing devices here. So that is this one's in the table. So let us go back there. So then we run the macro code. So by pressing F8, so press F8, and the data there changes. So to be more dynamic, so we shall go to this sheet. So let me stop this code. So we shall go to this sheet 4, and then we select worksheet, then change event, and now we shall call this macro code. So copy that, then in this change event, so we can type and say if target dot address is equal to range h1 dot address, then and if, and here we call the macro code. So that is this macro code here. So, and I think that is it. So let us go back to the worksheet, and we try to see whether that is now dynamic. So if I click here, we expect this table to change, or that is the pivot table. So just click electronics, and electronic devices are shown. Click electrical, and we have electrical devices shown there. So let us click comp devices, and the computer devices there are shown, and so on. So our table now is dynamic. So you can also change the design of your pivot table, so that is to any style, so as shown there. So thank you for watching my video, and see you in my next video. So please subscribe and like my video.